Hey there. Today we're diving deep into the Amazon rainforest, a green labyrinth where the air hums with life and every shadow hides a fight for survival. Picture a world so dense it swallows the sky, where rivers churn, jaguars prowl, and secrets older than time whisper in the leaves. What would it be like to live just one day in this untamed jungle, not as a tourist with a guidebook, but as a creature clawing for every breath? Spoiler, it's a thrill ride where the stakes are life or death. Before we get lost in the canopy, take a moment to like this video and subscribe, but only if you're feeling the vibe. Drop a comment below. Where are you tuning in from? And what time is it? It's wild to think we're all linked, from London at dawn to São Paulo at midnight, sharing this journey into the Amazon's heart. Now dim the lights, maybe light a candle for that jungle glow, and let's plunge into the green. Welcome to the Amazon, a 2.7 million square mile beast of a rainforest sprawling across 9 countries, with Brazil as its beating core. It's dawn, and the jungle's already awake, the air thick with mist and the screech of macaws. The sun barely pierces the canopy, casting dappled light on a river that snakes like a living artery. This isn't a postcard paradise. It's a battlefield of roots and fangs, where 400 billion trees and 2.5 million species fight for space. Light and survival. The humidity's a wet blanket, 90% and climbing, and the buzz of mosquitoes is a constant drone, like a warning you can't ignore. Let's start with you as a jaguar, the Amazon's apex predator, a 200-pound shadow of muscle and stealth. Picture this. You're crouched on a branch over the Rio Negro, your spotted coat blending with the leaves, eyes locked on the water below, your heart steady, but your claws flex, ready. The river's black, stained by tannins, smelling of mud and fish. A caiman 10 feet long glides beneath, its eyes like marbles in the dawn. Your stomach growls. You haven't eaten in 2 days, and your last kill, a peccary, was stolen by vultures. This caiman's your ticket to breakfast, but it's no pushover, with jaws that can crush bone. You leap, a silent arc of power, landing on the caiman's back. Your teeth sink into its neck, aiming for the spine, but it thrashes, tail whipping. Like a club, water explodes around you, drenching your fur, blurring your vision. You hold on, claws digging, muscles straining, until the caiman slows, its fight fading. You drag it to the bank, panting, blood mixing with river mud. You eat fast, tearing through scaly hide, but the jungle's watching. Harpy eagles circle. Above, anacondas slither nearby and piranhas wait for scraps. This is your kingdom, but even kings don't relax here. Jaguars rule the Amazon, but it's a brutal throne. You're one of 15,000 left in the wild, your range stretching from Mexico to Argentina. Your bite's the strongest of any big cat, capable of piercing turtle shells, and your name, from the indigenous Tupi word yaguara, means he who kills with one leap. But survival's a grind. You need 10 pounds of meat a day, and hunting's a lottery. Miss too often, and you weaken. Your territory, 20 square miles, is yours alone, marked by claw-scratched trees and your musky scent. Rivals, young males, prowl the edges, and a fight could leave you limping or dead. The numbers paint a stark picture. The Amazon's lost 20% of its forest since 1970, shrinking your hunting grounds. Farmers burn your jungle for soy, their fires choking your air. Poachers want your pelt, a trophy worth $1,000 on the black market. You've dodged their snares so far, but your cousin didn't. Her body left rotting by a trail. Conservationists track you with cameras, their data showing your numbers dropping 3% a year. You don't care about stats. You feel the squeeze, the prey scarcer, the rivers dirtier, the human noise louder. Yet you hunt, your amber eyes unyielding, a king refusing to fall. Your life solitary, but you're not alone. The Amazons, a city of predators, prey and scavengers, each locked in a dance you lead. Your kills feed vultures, your roars warn monkeys, your tracks guide indigenous hunters. You're a keystone species, keeping peccary and capybara numbers in check, preventing overgrazing that'd choke your jungle. Without you, the web phrase, plants die, rivers clog, smaller predators starve. You're not just a jaguar, you're a pillar, holding up a world that's starting to crack. Let's shift gears, because Amazon's not just about raw power. The sun's climbing, the mist burning off, and the river's alive with a different kind of hunter. You're no longer a jaguar ruling from the shadows. Now, you're an electric eel, a 6-foot serpent of the deep, gliding through the murky Rio Negro. Your body's a living battery, packed with 6,000 electrocyte cells that can unleash a 600-volt shock, enough to stun a caiman or fry a fish. You're not a true eel, closer to a knife fish, but nobody's arguing with you. The water's warm, heavy with silt, tasting of algae and decay. Your eyes are weak, but your electric field's a sixth sense, mapping every ripple, every heartbeat. Picture this: you're hunting, your sinuous body weaving through submerged roots. A school of tetras darts nearby, their scales flashing. You pulse, sending out low-voltage waves to locate them, like sonar in the dark. They freeze, sensing danger, but it's too late. You unleash a full shock, a crackling burst that lights up the water. The tetras float, stunned, and you swallow them whole, your jaw unhinging like a snake's. It's a quick meal, but you're always hungry, needing 10 fish a day to fuel your charge. The river's your domain, but it's no safe haven. Piranhas nip at your tail, and caimans see you as lunch. Electric eels are the Amazon's shock troops, thriving where others falter. You're one of millions, your kind unchanged for 7 million years. Your shocks don't just hunt, they defend, repelling anacondas or herons. Scientists marvel at you, dissecting your cells to build better batteries, but you're no lab rat. You breathe air, surfacing every 10 minutes, a quirk that lets you survive oxygen-poor waters. Your mating's a mystery. Males build spit nests, but nobody's seen you spawn in the wild. You're a riddle, thriving in a river that's both cradle and crucible, but your world's shifting. The Amazon's rivers are warming, 2 degrees hotter since 1980, stressing your prey. Dams like the Belo Monte block your paths, trapping fish you need. Mercury from gold mining poisons your water, your body carrying 10 times the safe level. You're tough, but not invincible. Fewer fish mean weaker shocks, slower hunts. Conservationists fight for you, pushing for cleaner rivers, but it's slow. For now you glide, your electric hum a defiant buzz in the dark, a spark that won't go out. We've only scratched the Amazon's surface, the jaguar's hunt, the eel's shock. These are just the opening notes of a jungle symphony. There's more to come. Creatures that defy belief, humans who call you home, and mysteries that keep you wild. Take a breath, but don't relax. The Amazon's watching. The Amazon's midday sun claws through the canopy, turning the jungle into a steaming cauldron. The Rio Negro churns below, its black waters alive with the flick of fish and the ripple of caimans. A jaguar's roar echoes, distant but sharp, while macaws screech, their colors flashing like jewels. The air's a wet fist, 95% humidity, thick, with the scent of rotting leaves and blooming orchids. You're no longer an electric eel, pulsing through the river's depths. Now you're something smaller, brighter, a flicker of gold in the green, a golden lion tamarin, a tiny primate clinging to the edge of existence. This is your story. A tale of beauty, loss, and a fight to hold on. Picture this. You're perched on a vine, 30 feet up, your orange gold fur glowing like a sunrise. You're no bigger than a squirrel, 1.5 pounds, with a mane that frames your face like a lion's, earning your name. Your fingers, nimble as a thief's, grip the bark, and your black eyes dart, scanning for danger. The forest hums. Cicadas. A drone. Frogs croak, a sloth's slow rustle above. You're foraging, snatching ants from a crevice, their sting sharp but worth it. Your troop, 10 strong, chatters nearby, their high-pitched whistles a code you know by heart. You're a family, bound by grooming and shared survival, but the jungle's no safe home. Your target's a fig, ripe and red, dangling just out of reach. You leap, tail streaming, landing with a soft thud. The fruit's sweet, a rare treat, but eating's a race. A toucan's beak snaps nearby, eyeing your prize. You bare your teeth, a squeaky snarl, and it backs off. But bigger threats loom. A harpy eagle, wings spanning 6 feet, circles above, its talons a death sentence for a tamarin. You freeze, blending with the leaves, heart pounding. The eagle passes, but you don't relax. Snakes, ocelots, even jaguars hunt your kind. Your troops your shield, more eyes, more calls, but one slip and you're gone. This is your life. Forage, leap, hide, repeat. You're one of 3,200 golden lion. On Tamarin's left, confined to Brazil's Atlantic forest, a sliver of the Amazon's edge. Once your kind roamed millions of acres, but 95% of that forest's gone, razed for sugarcane and cities. Your home's a fragment, 50 square miles of tangled vines and strangler figs. You need 100 acres per troop, rich with fruit and insects. But farms encroach, their smoke stinging your eyes. You move fast, covering a mile a day, but there's nowhere to run when the trees fall. The numbers are brutal. By 1970, your species was down to 200, teetering on extinction. Deforestation, pet trade, disease, humans were your apocalypse. Conservationists stepped in, breeding you in zoos, replanting trees. By 2000, 1,000 of you were back in the wild, a miracle. But the fight's not over. Illegal logging cuts 10,000 acres yearly, and climate change shifts your rains, drying your figs. You're a survivor, but survival's a tightrope. One bad season, and your troop starves. Scientists track you, their radio collars itching your neck, but you don't care about data. You care about the next fruit, the next leap, the next dawn. Your roll's bigger than your size. Tamarins spread seeds, dropping fig pits that sprout into trees, feeding sloths and parrots. Your foraging stirs insects, snacks for frogs. Without you, the forest frays, plants fade, predators go hungry. You're a keystone, small but mighty, proof the Amazon's web needs every thread. Your troops are family, parents teaching young to hunt, sharing food with squeaks of trust. But loss haunts you. Last month a hawk took your brother, his scream still echoing in your dreams. You groom your mate, picking ticks from her fur, a quiet vow to keep going. Let's pull back, because your story is just one note in the Amazons. Roar, you're no longer a tamarin clinging to vines. Now you're the rainforest itself, a vast breathing giant, feeling every root, every wing, every drop of rain. Your canopy's a green ocean, 100 feet high, home to 40,000 plant species, 1,300 birds, 430 mammals. Your rivers, like the Negro and Amazonas, pulse with 3,000 fish species, from piranhas to 20-foot arapaima. You're the planet's lungs, pumping 20% of its oxygen, trapping carbon to cool a warming world. But you're not invincible. Your heart's under siege. Feel your pulse. Jaguars stalk, their kills balancing your herds. Ilshok, stirring rivers that feed dolphins. Tamarins leap, planting seeds that grow your skin. Indigenous peoples, like the Yanomami, hunt your peccaries, their fires warming your nights. But your wounds are deep. Deforestation taken 20% of your body since 1970, 500,000 square miles burned or logged. Fires rage, set by ranchers, their smoke choking your macaws. Dams block your rivers, starving your fish. Gold mines spill mercury, poisoning your eels. Climate change dries your rains, 10% less since 2000, stressing your tamarins. You're a titan, but titans fall without care. Your creatures fight on. Jaguars adapt, hunting at dawn to dodge human traps. Eels shift to deeper pools, evading polluted shallows. Tamarins cling to fragments, their troops tighter, their leaps bolder. You've shaped them for 100 million years, since dinosaurs roamed your ferns. They're tough, but they need you whole. Your trees, your rivers, your rains. Humans, your cleverest children, are your paradox. They cut you for profit, yet some fight for you, replanting your skin, guarding your jaguars. Their choice, greed or care, will write your next chapter. Your web's a marvel, but it's fragile. A jaguar's death ripples, peccaries overgraze, plants die. An eel's loss thins fish, starving herons. A tamarind's fall slows forests, weakening your roots. You're a balance, each piece vital. Scientists call you a biodiversity hotspot, but you're more a cradle, a crucible, a dream. You've birthed species, sheltered tribes, inspired songs. As noon burns, you hum with life. A jaguar's growl, an eel's crackle, a tamarind's whistle. You're not just a forest, you're a story, and it's far from over. The Amazon's afternoon is a feverish pulse, the sun's heat seeping through the canopy, turning the air into a sticky haze. The Rio Negro glints below, its dark waters swirling with fish and secrets. A jaguar lounges on a fallen log, its tail flicking, eyes half closed but alert. A tamarind's whistle cuts through the drone of cicadas, its troop leaping through the vines. An electric eel's shock ripples the river, scattering tetras. You're no longer the rainforest itself, feeling every root and wing. Now you're a Yanomami hunter deep in the jungle's embrace, your life woven into its rhythms. This is your story, a dance of survival, wisdom, and a fight to keep your home alive. Picture this, you're crouched by a stream, your bare feet sinking into the mud, a bow in your calloused hands. Your body's lean, painted with red annatto dye, a signal to spirits and snakes alike. The air smells of wet earth and orchids, but you're focused, eyes tracing a peccary's tracks in the clay. You're Shabono, a communal village of palm-thatched. Huts is miles away, where your wife tends manioc and your son plays with a pet macaw. You're 30, a provider for 50 kin, and the jungle's your larder, pharmacy, and temple. But it's no Eden. Every step demands respect, or the Amazon bites back. You move silently, your breath steady, mimicking the tapir's huff to mask your sound. The peccary's close, its musky scent sharp. You notch an arrow, its tip dipped. In Kuro, a poison from liana vines that stops a heart in seconds. The jungle's alive, howler monkeys roar, a morpho butterfly's wings flash blue, but you're a ghost slipping through ferns. The peccary appears, rooting for grubs, unaware. You lose the arrow, a whisper of death, and it drops. A clean kill. You whisper thanks to its spirit, a Yanomami custom, ensuring harmony with the forest. You'll carry it home, its meat feeding your Shabono for days. This is your life. Hunt, gather, protect, repeat. You're one of 35,000 Yanomami, spread across 70,000 square miles in Brazil and Venezuela. Your people have lived here for 15,000 years, since humans first crossed Beringia. The Amazon's your mother, giving you fish, fruits, medicines, lianas. For fever, bark for wounds. You know 500 plants by name, their use is passed down through fireside tales. Your Shabono's a circle, open to the sky, mirroring your belief in balance. You hunt only what you need, move when soils tire, let the jungle heal. To you the jaguar's a brother, the eel a spirit, the tamarin a guide. Every creature's sacred part of Zapiripe, the spirit world you honor, but your world is under siege. Picture miners, their dredges tearing your rivers, mercury poisoning fish you eat. Last year, 10 kin fell sick, their hair falling out, kidneys failing. Loggers, chainsaws scream, feeling your mahogany for foreign floors. Since 1980, 20% of your forest's gone, replaced by cattle ranches that scar the earth. Soldiers guard these invaders, their guns silencing your protests. You've seen Shabonos burned, women taken, children shot. Gold's the curse. $500 an ounce drives men mad, their greed drowning your streams. You fight, but it's David against Goliath, your arrows no match for bulldozers. Your knowledge is your strength, a map through the chaos. You read the jungle like a book. A bent twig means tapir. A certain frog's croak signals rain. You use vine sap to stun fish, frog venom to sharpen hunts. Your shaman, chanting under ayahuasca's spell, sees jaguar spirits guiding your hunts. This isn't folklore, it's survival, honed over millennia. Scientists now seek you, their notebooks, open, learning your plants to fight cancer. Banaliana extract cured malaria in trials. You're not a relic, you're a library, your wisdom as vital as any lab, yet survival's a tightrope. Picture your Shabono at dusk, elders debating invaders. Miners offer cash, but you refuse. Gold buys nothing when rivers die. You've joined patrols, armed with bows, guarding your borders. Last month you chased off loggers, their camp torched, but they'll return. Diseases, like measles from outsiders, kill faster than bullets. 500 kin died in 2020. Your son coughs, his fever rising, and the nearest clinic's a week's walk. You adapt, using radio to call allies, trading manioc for medicine. But the jungle's shrinking, your hunt's longer, your heart heavier. Your bond with the Amazon's creatures is your anchor. You mimic the jaguar's stealth, respect its kills, leaving offerings to its spirit. You avoid eel pools, fearing their shocks as omens. Tamarins guide you, their whistles pointing to ripe fruit. You're not above the jungle. You're in it, a thread in its web. When you hunt, you thank the peccary, ensuring its kin return. When you fish, you spare the young, keeping rivers full. This balance, taught by ancestors, is why you've lasted while empires fell. But now, that balance teeters and you're fighting not just for you, but for the jungle itself. Let's zoom out, because your fight's the Amazon's fight. The Yanomami are its stewards, but they're not alone. Other tribes, Tucano, Kayapo, guard their corners, their spears, and songs as fierce as yours. Conservationists join, their drones mapping loggers, their lawsuits slowing dams. Scientists plant trees, 1 million since 2010, reviving tamarin homes. Tourists, the good ones, fund schools, their dollars strengthening your voice. But the enemy's strong. Cattle barons, mining lords, governments chasing GDP. The Amazons lost 11% in a decade, and every acre gone is a wound you all feel. Your role's bigger than your Shabono. The Amazon's a global shield, storing 150 billion tons of carbon, slowing a climate crisis that melts ice caps. Its rivers drive rains that feed farms in Argentina. Its species, jaguars, eels, tamarins, are a genetic vault, holding cures we've yet to find. You, Yanomami, are its heart. Your knowledge a key to its survival. When you patrol, you save not just your kin, but a world that doesn't know it needs you. Your fight's a beacon, shining on X, in courts, in hearts waking. To your call. As evening falls, you stand by your Shabono, the jungle's chorus rising, macaws, frogs, the river's hum. Your son sleeps, fever broken, a small win. A tamarin calls, high and clear, a sign of fruit nearby. You grip your bow, eyes on the stars, where Zapiripe watches. You're not just a hunter, you're a guardian, your life a vow to the Amazon, to its creatures, to a future where your songs still echo. The jungle's alive, and so are you, fighting for every breath, every root, every dawn. The Amazon's dusk is a heavy veil, the sky bruising purple as the jungle's heat softens into a restless hum. The Rio Negro mirrors the fading light, its surface broken by the splash of a dolphin or the glide of a caiman. A tamarin's whistle fades into the canopy, its troop settling for the night. A Yanomami fire crackles, its smoke curling through. The trees. You're no longer a hunter, bow in hand, tracking peccaries. Now you're a harpy eagle, the Amazon's sky-born reaper, perched high above the chaos. This is your world, a realm of talons and shadows, where you rule the air but fight to keep your throne. Picture this. You're 100 feet up, on a kapok tree's highest branch, your slate-grey feathers blending with the twilight. You're massive, 7 feet wingtip to wingtip, the largest eagle in the Americas. Your talons, as long as grizzly claws, grip the bark, and your crest feathers flare, sensing every shift in the air. Your eyes, sharp enough to spot a sloth's blink from a mile, scan the canopy below. The jungle's a riot, howler monkeys bellow, cicadas scream, but you're still, a statue of death. Your stomach's empty, and your chick, safe in a nest. The size of a bed, waits for meat. A 3-toed sloth, 10 pounds of slow, dangles nearby, your next meal. You dive, wings folding, a silent missile slicing through the humid air. The sloth never sees you. Your speed hits 50 miles an hour, talons out. You strike, claws piercing its back, and it's over in a heartbeat. You haul it to your nest, ripping fur to feed your chick, its beak snapping hungrily. You eat last, in tearing sinew, but you're not safe. A rival eagle, a male, circles nearby, eyeing your territory. You scream, a piercing cry that echoes for miles, and he veers off. This is your domain. 10 square miles of canopy, but holding it means constant. Vigilance, monkeys, jaguars, even humans threaten your reign. This is your life. Hunt, guard, feed, repeat. You're one of 50,000 harpy eagles, your range spanning the Amazon from Mexico to Argentina. Your name comes from Greek myth, a nod to your ferocity, but you're no legend. You're a machine, built for precision. Your wings navigate tight. Branches, your talons crush skulls, and your heart pumps for high-altitude kills. You mate for life, raising one chick every 3 years, a slow cycle that makes every loss brutal. Your nest, rebuilt yearly, is a fortress of sticks, but it's no shield against the jungle's grind. The numbers are grim. Deforestation has cut your habitat by 40% since 1960, leaving 5 million square miles of fragmented forest. Loggers feel your kapoks, each tree a skyscraper lost. Sloths and monkeys, your prey, dwindle as farms spread. Poachers take your chicks, sold for $2,000 to collectors. Climate change shifts your rains, flooding nests or starving prey, 10% less. Rains since 2000. Scientists track you, their drones buzzing like oversized bees, but you don't care about their maps. You feel the squeeze, fewer trees, hungrier days, arrivals scream closer every season. Your role is vital. Harpy eagles are apex predators, keeping sloths and capuchins in check, preventing overgrazing that chokes vines. Your kills feed scavengers. Vultures, ants that clean the forest floor. Without you, the canopy shifts, plants die, tamarins starve. You're a keystone, your shadow shaping the jungle's pulse. But you're not invincible. A bad year, too few sloths, a storm tossed. Nest, it can end your line. Your chick's your legacy. Its grey fluff a promise, but only 1 in 3 survives to fly. You hunt harder, your eyes fiercer, a mother who won't yield. Let's shift, because the Amazon's not just sky and claws. The night deepens, the rivers, edge glowing with fireflies. You're no longer an eagle soaring above the fray. Now you're an anaconda, the jungle's silent titan, coiled in the shallows of a tributary. You're 20 feet long, 300 pounds, your olive green scales flecked with black, blending with the water's murk. Your eyes, high on your head, peer like periscopes, and your tongue flicks, tasting the air. Fish, caiman, a capybara's musk. The river's warm, heavy with silt, but you're cold-blooded, your strength tied to the jungle's heat. Picture this, you're hunting, your body a sinuous trap, half submerged. A capybara, 100 pounds, drinks nearby, its whiskers twitching. You glide, silent, your muscles a symphony of power. You strike, jaws unhinging, teeth hooking flesh. You coil, each loop tightening, crushing bone in seconds. The capybara's still, and you swallow, your throat stretching, a slow process that takes hours. You'll rest for weeks, digesting, but the jungle doesn't wait. Jaguars prowl, their claws a threat to your hide. Piranhas nip, sensing blood. Humans with nets and machetes are your worst fear. They call you Sukuri, a monster to kill on sight. This is your life. Stalk, strike, survive. You're one of millions. Your kind ruling Amazon waters for 10 million years. You're the world's heaviest snake. Females like you, dwarfing males, birthing 50 live young in muddy nests. Your lungs let you hold your breath for 10 minutes. Your jaws dislocate for prey 3 times your width. You're a myth. Tales of 40-foot giants haunt Yanomami fires, but science caps you at 30 feet. You don't care about stories. You care about the next kill, the next coil, the next flood that hides you. Your world's shrinking. Dams choke your rivers like the Madeira, cutting fish by 30%. Deforestation dries your swamps, leaving you exposed. Hunters take your skin, $100 a foot for boots. Mercury poisons your prey, your body carrying 15 times the safe level. You're tough, surviving floods and droughts, but your young aren't. Half die in polluted waters. Conservationists push for protected rivers, but it's slow. You slither. On your coils a quiet defiance, a titan who won't bow. Your role's massive. Anacondas control capybaras and caimans, keeping rivers clear for fish, which feed dolphins and Yanomami. Your kills sink, fertilizing aquatic plants. Without you, the food web tilts. Fish crash, herons starve. You're a keystone, your weight anchoring the jungle's balance. But you're solitary, meeting only to mate, your young left to fend alone. Last year, a boat's propeller took your sister, her coils still in the mud. You don't mourn, you hunt your eyes cold, your strength eternal. The Amazon's predators, eagle, anaconda, jaguar, are its teeth, sharpening its edges. They hunt, they balance, they endure. But the jungle's more, a web of prey, plants, people, all fighting. Under a sky that's darkening. As night falls, a harpy's cry pierces the dark. An anaconda's coils tighten, a Yanomami drum beats. The Amazon's alive, its pulse fierce, its story far from done. The Amazon's night cloaks the jungle in a restless dark, the canopy a black dome pierced by starlight and the glow of fireflies. The Rio Negro hums, its waters alive with the dart of fish and the slow glide of an anaconda. A harpy eagle's silhouette looms in a kapok, its chick's soft chirp swallowed by the din of frogs. A Yanomami shabono glows faintly, laughter mingling with the river's murmur. You're no longer an anaconda, coiled in the shallows, or an eagle ruling the skies. Now, you're a poison dart frog, a jewel of the forest floor, small enough to fit on a leaf, but deadly enough to stop a heart. This is your world, a microcosm of color and cunning, where size means nothing in the Amazon's brutal game. Picture this. You're perched on a mossy root, your skin a vivid blue speckled with black, glistening in the damp air. You're barely an inch long, a strawberry poison dart frog, one of 170 species in the Amazon. Your heart beats fast, pumping toxins through your veins. Batrachotoxin, 100 times deadlier than cyanide. A single touch could kill a monkey, though you're no hunter. The jungle's a steam bath, 90 degrees and dripping, smelling of decay and nectar. You're foraging, your sticky tongue snapping at ants, each bite fueling your poison. A leaf rustles. Nearby, a spider big as your body. You freeze, your colors screaming don't touch, and it scuttles off. You're small, but you're a fortress. You hop, legs springing, navigating a maze of roots and puddles. Your mate's nearby, her croak a low trill. You're guarding eggs, 10 tiny pearls in a leaf's curl, laid after a courtship of dances. And calls. The jungle's a death trap. Ants steal eggs. Snakes see you as snacks. You carry your tadpoles, once hatched, on your back, climbing 20 feet to a bromeliad's water pool, a nursery safe from jaws. It's grueling, your legs burning, but you make it, tucking them in. You'll visit daily, feeding them unfertilized eggs, a mother's sacrifice. Only half will survive, but each frog's a victory in a forest that spares no one. This is your Life, forage, guard, breed, repeat. You're one of millions. Your kind thriving for 15 million years. Your poison's your shield, brewed from ants you eat. A chemical armor no predator cracks. Indigenous hunters, like the Yanomami, use your toxins, smearing them on darts, hence your name. You're not just a frog, you're a weapon, a legend. But your world's shrinking. Deforestation took 20% of your understory, leaving you exposed. Pesticides from farms poison your ants, weakening your venom. Climate shifts dry your pools. 5% less rain since 2010. Scientists count you, their nets gentle, but you don't care about their lists. You croak, your colors blazing, a speck that won't fade. Your role is subtle but mighty. Frogs control insects, eating 10,000 ants yearly, keeping pests from choking plants. Your tadpoles clean pools, balancing algae for fish. Without you, the forest tilts, vines die, tamarins go hungry. You're a keystone, your poison a quiet force. Last week, a flood drowned your brother's clutch, his blue body swept away. You don't grieve, you hop, your eggs safe, your trill a defiant song. The Amazon's a crucible, and you're forged for it. A gem in its underbelly. Let's shift, because Amazon's not just venom and flash. Dawn creeps in, the forest floor stirring. You're no longer a frog, dancing on roots. Now you're a leaf-cutter ant, a worker in a colony of 8 million, marching in a green line. You're tiny, a tenth of an inch, your jaws clamped on a leaf. Fragment twice your size. The jungle smells of sap and mold, the ground a highway of pheromones. Your mandibles ache, but you march, one of billions cutting 15% of the Amazon's leaves yearly. Your colony's a city, its tunnels sprawling 20 feet deep, a fungus farm feeding your kin. Picture this, you're hauling your leaf to the nest, a mound like a moon crater. A wasp buzzes, its sting a death sentence. You dodge, your sisters closing. Ranks, their jaws snapping. You reach the tunnel, dropping your load for farmers, ants who chew it into mulch, growing fungus your queen eats. You're a cog, tireless, replaceable. Your life's 2 months spent cutting, carrying, dying. A raindrop could crush you, a frog could swallow you, but you march, driven by scent and duty. The colony's your god, its survival your purpose. This is your life. Cut, carry, repeat. You're one of trillions, your kind shaping the Amazon for 50 million years. Your colonies turn soil, spreading nutrients, growing trees that shade jaguars. You're a keystone, your fungus farms a forest engine, but threats loom. Deforestation burns your nests. 10,000 colonies lost yearly. Fungicides from farms kill your crops, starving queens. Climate dries your trails. 8% less rain since 2000. You don't think you work, your jaw's relentless, a machine that won't stop. Scientists study you, marveling at your teamwork, but you're not here to impress, you're here to build. Your role is colossal. Leafcutters recycle 20% of the forest's biomass, feeding plants that hold carbon. Without you, soils die, tamarins starve, rivers clog. Your tunnels aerate earth, helping roots breathe. Last month, a logger's boot crushed your sister's line, her leaf left in the mud. You don't pause, you cut, your colony alive, your work eternal. You're small, but your march is the Amazon's heartbeat, a pulse that keeps its green. Blood flowing, let's shift again to the river's dawn glow. You're no longer an ant toiling in dirt. Now you're a pink river dolphin. An Amazon boto gliding through the Rio Negro. You're 8 feet long, 400 pounds, your skin a rosy blush, fading to grey with age. Your neck's flexible, twisting to navigate flooded forests. And your echolocation. Clicks map the murky depths. The water's warm, tasting of fish and roots. You're hunting, chasing piranhas, your long beak snapping with precision. A caiman looms, but you're nimble, dodging its jaws with a barrel roll. This is your life, hunt, play, roam. You're one of 10,000, your kind swimming the Amazon for 15 million years. Your brain's huge, rivaling a chimp's, and you're Social, flirting with tail slaps, singing clicks to kin. You're a myth. Yanomami calls you a shapeshifter, luring lovers to the deep. But you're real, eating 50 fish daily, diving 30 feet for catfish. Dams block your rivers, 20% less flow since 1990. Fishermen's nets trap you, mercury poisons your prey. You're tough, but your calves aren't. Half die young. You swim, your click's a hopeful song, a spirit who won't sink. Your role is vital. Dolphins control fish, balancing rivers for eels and herons. Your play stirs water, spreading seeds that grow mangroves. Without you, ecosystems falter. Fish boom, plants die. You're a keystone, your grace a river's pulse. Last year, a net took your brother. His pink body tangled, you don't mourn, you dive. Your calf beside you, your echoes bright. The Amazon's a web, and you're its thread, weaving life through its veins. These small players, frog, ant, dolphin, are the Amazon's glue binding its giants. Their poison, toil and grace keep the jungle alive, but the forest's under fire, its future hanging by a vine. As dawn breaks, a frog trills, an ant marches, a dolphin leaps. The Amazon breathes its fight unbroken. The Amazon's dawn is a fleeting glow. The sky, blushing pink as mist, coils through the canopy. The Rio Negro ripples, its dark waters alive with the dart of piranhas and the slow sway of a boto's fin. A poisoned dart frog's trill pierces the hum of cicadas, its blue skin flashing on a root. Leafcutter ants march in relentless lines, their leaf scraps bobbing like green sails. A Yanomami child laughs, splashing in a stream, his mother's song drifting from the shabono. You're no longer a dolphin, weaving through rivers, or an ant toiling in the dirt. Now you're the Amazon itself, a vast, breathing titan, feeling every leaf, every claw, every drop of rain, or its absence. This is your story, a saga of wounds and resilience, of a fight to survive a world that's tearing you apart. Feel your pulse, a rhythm of 2.7 million square miles, your canopy a green heart, pumping 20% of the planet's oxygen. Your rivers, 15% of global freshwater, surge with 3,000 fish species, from arapaima to eels. Your soils cradle 400 billion trees, 40,000 plant species, 2.5 million insects. Jaguars prowl your shadows, tamarins leap your vines, dolphins dance your waters. Yanomami hunt your trails, their fires warming your nights. You're the Earth's lungs, its pharmacy, its cradle, storing 150 billion tons of carbon, birthing cures like quinine. But you're bleeding, your strength sapped by human hands, your future hanging by a thread. Let's start with deforestation, your deepest scar. Picture your southern edge, where chainsaws scream, feeling mahogany for ranches. Since 1970, 20% of your body, 500,000 square miles, has been razed, an area twice Texas size. Fires rage, set by farmers for soy and cattle, their smoke choking your macaws. Last year, 11,000 square miles burned, each tree a home for tamarins, a perch for harpy eagles. Your soils, thin without roots, wash away, leaving deserts where jaguars once hunted. Satellites show the loss, a red gash spreading yearly, driven by beef exports. 80% of your cleared land feeds cows for global markets. You're not just losing trees, you're losing yourself. Mining's another wound, raw and toxic. Picture your rivers, once clear, now muddied by gold dredges. Miners, chasing $1,500 an ounce, tear your banks, their mercury-poisoning fish, eels, dolphins. In Yanomami lands, 20,000 illegal miners work, their camps dumping 100 tons of mercury yearly. Your creatures suffer. Tamarins tremble with toxins. Yanomami children sicken, their kidneys failing. Gold's not your only thief. Lithium and iron mines scar your north, their roads carving paths for loggers. Each pit's a stab, draining your rivers, silencing your frogs. You're a treasure chest, but the plunder's killing you. Climate change is your silent assassin. Picture your rains, Once steady, now erratic, 10% less since 2000, with droughts, doubling in frequency. Your canopy traps moisture, but as trees fall, your humidity drops, drying pools where frogs breed. Temperatures rise, 2 degrees hotter since 1980, stressing jaguars, their hunts riskier in the heat. Your carbon sinks weakening. Deforestation releases 1.5 billion tons of CO2 yearly, fueling the crisis that chokes you. Storms grow fiercer, flooding Yanomami shabonos, drowning tamarin nests. You've weathered ice ages, but this is faster. A human storm you can't outrun. Human sprawl tightens the noose. Picture towns sprouting on your edges, their lights drowning your stars. Brazil's population, 220 million, pushes farms and roads deeper, fragmenting jaguar territories. Dams, like the Belo Monte, block your rivers, cutting fish by 30%, starving. Dolphins and Yanomami. Tourism, a double-edged sword, brings $1 billion yearly, but litters your trails. Plastic bags choke your tortoises. Your tribes face eviction, their lands leased to agribusiness. The Yanomami lost 10% of their territory since 1990, their shabonos raised for soy. You're a global asset, but locals pay the price, their voices drowned by profit. Yet you're not alone. Picture a Yanomami patrol, bows drawn, chasing miners from their streams. The Yanomami Federation, backed by NGOs, has reclaimed 5,000 square miles, their lawsuits halting dredges. Rangers, often indigenous, guard your parks. Brazil's 70,000 square mile Amazon National Park is a fortress, saving 500 jaguars. Last month, a ranger, Maria, burned an illegal logging camp, her radio sparking arrests. Conservationists plant trees, 2 million since 2015, reviving tamarin homes. Scientists track your eels, their data pushing for cleaner rivers. Your fights, gaining ground, but it's a race against greed. Global allies join you. Picture a reforestation camp, volunteers from São Paulo and Berlin planting saplings, their hands muddy, their goal 1 billion trees by 2030. The Amazon Environmental Research Institute maps your losses, their satellites guiding patrols. Tourists, the wise ones, choose eco-lodges. Their $100 fees funding Yanomami schools. On X, when Save Amazon trends, activists sharing your fires, raising $5 million last year for anti-deforestation. Governments, pressed by protests, act Brazil's 2023 logging ban saved 4,000 square miles. It's not enough, but it's a spark, a fire you need to blaze. Your creatures endure, adapting to your wounds. Jaguars hunt at night, dodging human traps. Eels burrow deeper, evading polluted shallows. Tamarins breed faster, their troops clinging to fragments. Frogs shift to shadier pools, their poison sharp. Ants rebuild nests, their fungus thriving in chaos. Dolphins swim to new rivers, their clicks undimmed. You've shaped them for 100 million years, and they're not quitting. A jaguar cub stumbles, learning to pounce. A tamarin leaps. It's gold. Fur bright. A dolphin's calf breaches, playful and fierce. They're your hope. Proof life fights on. Your people, too, are warriors. Picture a Yanomami elder teaching his grandson to fish, his stories binding past to future. Women like Anna, weaving baskets. For markets, fun patrols with their sails. Youth armed with smartphones film miners, their videos sparking global outrage. The Yanomami's resilience mirrors your own. 15,000 years of floods, wars, diseases, yet they stand. They're not alone. Kayapo, Munduruku, 300 tribes guard your heart, their voices rising in courts, on streets, in songs. You're their mother, their fight, their fire. As noon burns, you pulse with defiance. A frog's egg hatches, a tiny blue speck. An ant's trail grows, feeding your soil. A dolphin leaps, stirring your river. A Yanomami arrow flies, guarding your streams. You're not just a forest. You're a fortress, a flame, a vow. Your wounds are deep, but your roots are deeper. Your creatures tougher, your allies fiercer. The Amazon's fight is humanity's fight, and you're calling us to rise, to act, to save the lungs that let us breathe. The Amazon's midday sun scorches the canopy, its rays splintering into a mosaic of light and shadow across the jungle floor. The Rio Negro churns, its black waters flecked with foam, alive with the dart of fish and the glide of a dolphin. A poisoned dart frog hops, its blue skin a warning in the undergrowth. Leafcutter ants stream in green ribbons, their leaf loads swaying. A Yanomami hunter sharpens his arrow, his eyes scanning the vines for peccaries. You're still the Amazon, a colossal life force, your roots deep in the earth, your breath in the mist. Now, let's journey back to your birth in fire and time, to the evolutionary forge that shaped your creatures and your soul. This is your origin, a tale of stone, water, and relentless adaptation. Feel your genesis, 100 million years ago, when the supercontinent Gondwana split, birthing South America's spine. The Andes rose, a jagged barrier that trapped Pacific rains, flooding your basin into a vast inland sea. Rivers, like the Proto-Amazonas, carved your veins, their sediments building soils that would feed your forests. Volcanoes flared, their ash enriching your earth, sprouting jungles where dinosaurs roamed, titanosaurs grazing ferns, theropods stalking prey. By 23 million years ago, your sea drained, leaving a wetland that grew into the Amazon, a 2.7 million square mile crucible. Your rivers, now 15% of Earth's fresh water, pulsed with life. Your canopy, a green vault locking in moisture. Your soils, thin but fertile, sparked a riot of growth. 400 billion trees, 40,000 plant species. Fossils tell the tale. 50 million years ago, your ferns fed early mammals, ancestors of sloths and jaguars. The Andes rise shifted your rivers east, creating the Rio Negro, a blackwater haven for eels and dolphins. You were a lab testing life with floods, droughts, and predators. Those that adapted thrived, the rest vanished, their bones buried in your mud. You're not just a forest. You're a crucible, forging species in a relentless dance of survival. Let's focus on your jaguars, your shadow kings. Picture their ancestors, Miocene cats with shorter jaws, hunting prototapirs 10 million years. Ego, you demanded stealth, molding their spotted coats to blend with your dappled light. Their bite-piercing skulls evolved to crack armadillo armor. Solitary by design, they roamed your vastness, each needing 20 square miles to avoid rivals. You tested them. Floods drowned their kills, anacondas stole their prey. Only the cunning survived, their genes sharpening into the jaguar, a 200-pound phantom who rules your nights. You feel their paws, silent on your skin, their roars shaking your leaves, a legacy of your unforgiving school. Now, your electric eels, river-born sorcerers. Their ancestors, 20 million years ago, were knife fish, darting in your muddy streams. You darkened your rivers with tannins, blinding their eyes, so they evolved electrolocation, sensing prey with weak pulses. Predators, caimans, herons, pushed them further, birthing 600-volt shocks to stun or kill. You flooded their homes so they learned to breathe air, surfacing like tiny whales. Fossils show their cells, stacked like batteries, a design unchanged for eons. You're their maker, your currents shaping their sparks. Their hum a song you taught when the Andes were young. Your golden lion tamarins, tiny titans, tell another tale. Picture their primate forebears 30 million years ago, leaping in your proto-forests. You offered fruit but hid it high, so they shrank, their bodies light for vine-bound sprints. Snakes and eagles hunted them, so you brightened their fur, a golden warning to back off. Their troops, tight-knit, evolved to share your scarce figs, grooming to cement bonds. You flooded their homes, so they mastered bromeliads, using their pools as nurseries. You feel their leaps, their whistles echoing, a spark of your creativity, molded by your canopy's maze. Your smaller creatures, like poison dart frogs, are your alchemical marvels. 50 million years ago, their amphibian kin hopped in your swamps. You swarmed them with ants, so they turned bites into poison, their skin brewing toxins from insect alkaloids. Snakes forced them small, an inch long, but you made them bold. Red, blue, yellow, screaming danger. You drowned their eggs, so they carried tadpoles to treetop pools, a parental feat rare in frogs. You hear their trills, sharp in your undergrowth, a chorus of defiance from creatures who turned your threats into art. Leafcutter ants, your tireless engineers, trace back 60 million years when your soils teemed with fungi. You starved their kin, so they farmed, cutting leaves to grow mushrooms in underground cities. You sent floods, so they dug deeper, tunnels spanning 20 feet. Predators, frogs, armadillos raided, so you swelled their colonies to 8 million, soldiers guarding workers. You feel their march, their mandibles carving your leaves, recycling 20% of your biomass. They're your sculptors, their nests aerating your earth, their fungus feeding your roots. Your river dolphins, pink and playful, swam your seas 15 million years ago when your basin was salt water. As rivers formed, they stayed, their necks bending, to weave flooded forests, their echolocation sharpening in your murky depths. You starved them, so they hunted 50 fish daily, their beaks long for precision. Jaguars stalked, so they learned to leap, their tail slapping a social code. You hear their clicks, a sonar song, their rosy skin, a badge of your river's whims. They're your poets, dancing in your veins, proof you craft grace from grit. Your Yanomami, your human children, arrived 15,000 years ago, hunters crossing ancient trails. You taught them your plants, 500 species for food, medicine, poison. You flooded their camps, so they built shabonos, open to your sky. Jaguars hunted them, so they learned stealth, mimicking calls. You gave them Zapiripe, a spirit world tying every creature to their souls. You feel their steps, their arrows flying, their songs rising. They're your stewards, their wisdom a map through your chaos, their fires a spark of your eternal flame. Your past is a warning. You've seen extinctions, giant sloths, saber-toothed cats, when climates shifted. You survived, your web rewoven by survivors. Now humans break your rules. Deforestation burns 11,000 square miles yearly. Mining poisons your rivers' climate, dries your rains. Your jaguars starve, your tamarins vanish, your dolphins choke. You've endured for eons, but this is faster, a human axe on your roots. Yet your past offers hope. Your creatures adapt, your Yanomami fight, your soils sprout anew. You're a phoenix, scarred but rising if we let you. As evening looms, you pulse with memory. A jaguar stalks, it spots your design. An eel shocks, it sparks your gift. A tamarin leaps, it's gold your art. A frog trills, it poisons your alchemy. An ant marches, its nest is your engine. A dolphin sings, it clicks your verse. A Yanomami prays, his bow your vow. You're a forge, crafting life in flood and fire, and your story, ancient, fierce, alive, calls us to guard your flame, to keep your heart beating through the ages. The Amazon's evening weaves a tapestry of shadow and sound, the canopy glowing faintly under a crescent moon. The Rio Negro hums, its waters catching starlight, alive with the flick of a dolphin's tail. A poison dart frog's trill fades into the chorus of crickets, its blue gleam lost in the dark. Leafcutter ants march on, their trails a silent pulse. In the undergrowth, a Yanomami shabono flickers with firelight, voices chanting tales of spirits and stars. You're still the Amazon, your roots drinking deep, your breath in the mist that curls through the vines. Now let's explore your soul, not just your ecology, but your place in human hearts, your myths, your songs, your role as a global beacon. This is your cultural story, a weave of reverence and dreams that binds you to the world. Feel your presence in the Yanomami spirit, your oldest poets. To them, you're not just a forest, you're Zapiri, the realm where spirits dance, where jaguars speak and rivers sing. Picture a shabono at midnight, the air thick with manioc and smoke. An elder, face painted with anato, chants of Omama, the creator who shaped you from a drop of water, planting trees to hold the sky. Children huddle, eyes wide, as he tells of the anaconda spirit, guardian of rivers, or the tamarin, who tricked a demon to save the sun. These aren't mere tales, they're your laws, teaching balance, respect for the eel's shock, the frog's poison, the dolphin's grace. Every leaf, every claw is sacred, a thread in Zapiri's web. Your myths shape Yanomami life. Hunters offer peccary bones to the forest, ensuring spirits send more. Shamans sip ayahuasca, their visions guiding hunts, seeing jaguar spirits in your shadows. Women weave baskets, their patterns mimicking your vines, honoring your strength. A dance, bodies swaying like trees, mimics the dolphin's leap, tying, flesh to the river. These rituals evolve. A Yanomami youth films the dance on a phone, sharing it on X to rally allies. You're in his lens, his steps, his fight to keep your rivers clean. You're not a relic, you're a living gospel, preached. In arrows and apps, beyond the Yanomami, you're a muse for Amazonian peoples. Picture a Tucano village, a maloca humming with song, where a bard weaves your eels into tales of creation. In a Kayapo camp, warriors paint their faces with your frog's colors, their war cries echoing your jaguars. Your name, from the Greek, Amazons, evokes fierce women, a nod colonists gave you, awed by your tribe's strength. In Manaus, a street artist sprays your tamarins on walls, her cans hissing defiance against loggers. You're not just a place, your identity, a route for 400 tribes, a pride that fuels Brazil, Peru, Colombia, nations born in your shade. Globally, you're a legend, the green heart of Earth's wild dreams. Picture a Tokyo flat, a TV glowing. With your jaguars, a child gasping at their leap. A Paris cafe where a poet scribbles on your rivers, calling you the planet's pulse. You're the star of films, Anaconda's thrills, Avatar's lush echoes, though they simplify your grit. Documentaries narrated by voices like Morgan Freeman show your dolphins, sparking gasps in London classrooms. On X, Amazon rainforest trends, with 10 million posts yearly, sunsets, protests, pleas to save you. You're a pilgrimage, 1 million tourists a year chasing your canopy, their hearts racing at your vastness. Your cultural weight spans centuries. Inca myths, 500 years old, called you Paititi, a hidden Eden. Spanish explorers like Orellana in 1542 wrote of your endless green, their journals sparking Europe's hunger. By the 19th century, you were a scientific mecca. Darwin studied your ants, Humboldt mapped your rivers. The 20th century made you a safari, with eco-tours replacing rifles, though cameras still hunt your jaguars. Your tamarins, once caged as pets, now star in conservation ads. Their gold fur a global plea. You're not just a forest. You're a story told in ink, film and fire. Let's zoom in on your modern role, a symbol under siege. Picture a UN summit in Brasilia, indigenous leaders and scientists debating your fate. You're a test case, a lab for saving Earth's lungs. Brazil's Yanomami territory, 37,000 square miles, is a sanctuary. But miners invade, their dredges defying 1992 decrees. Globally, you're a climate shield. Your carbon storage slows warming, saving coasts from floods. Scientists estimate you're worth $8 trillion in ecosystem services, oxygen, water, cures. Yet, 11,000 square miles burn yearly, each fire a wound on your mythos, a challenge to your legend. Your global pull drives action. Picture a reforestation rally in Sao Paulo, 10,000 strong, chanting for your trees. The Amazon Fund, backed by Norway, has planted 3 million saplings since 2008, saving 200 tamarin troops. Citizen scientists, tourists with apps, log your frogs, their data shielding rivers. Schools in Chicago fund your dolphins, $1 at a time, raising $2 million last year. But fame's a blade. Tourists litter, their plastic killing your fish. Influencers. Stress your macaws for selfies. You need their love, but you crave their care. Less trash, more trees, louder voices. You're a spiritual anchor. For the Yanomami, you're Zapiri's home, where spirits guide every hunt. For others, you're a secular temple, a place to feel small yet whole. Picture a tourist, boots muddy, standing where a jaguar passed. His phone's off, his heart full, sensing your pulse. Scientists feel it too, their data hiding awe at your web. You're not content, your truth, a reminder life thrives in chaos. A Yanomami shaman's chant, a child's drawing, a poet's verse, all carry your spirit, a call to kneel before your vastness. Your myths evolve. A Kayapo rapper in Belém spits rhymes about your eels, blending flutes with beats. A Peruvian artist carves your dolphins in wood, her work shown in New York. On X, activists post your fires, where Amazon lives sparking 5 million shares. You're a unifier, linking strangers across oceans, but myths need deeds. Deforestation kills 500 jaguars yearly, mining poisons 10,000 Yanomami. Your story's power lies in turning awe to action. Donations, laws, choices that keep your canopy green. You're a mirror, reflecting humanity's heart. The Yanomami see ancestors in your rivers, tourists see adventure, scientists see systems. All see something worth saving. As night deepens, a Yanomami girl weaves a basket, her fingers tracing your vines. A frog trills, an ant marches, a dolphin leaps. You're their stage, their song, their fight. Your cultural weight, from ancient spirits to viral posts, binds us to you. A vow to keep your green heart beating now and forever. The Amazon's night is a velvet shroud, the canopy a dark cathedral where stars peek through like distant prayers. The Rio Negro pulses, its waters catching the moon's faint glow, alive with the splash of a dolphin or the ripple of an eel. A poisoned dart frog's trill blends with the hum of nocturnal wings, its blue skin invisible in the shadows. Leafcutter. Ants march on, their trails lit by bioluminescent fungi. A Yanomami Shibono glows, its fires casting stories into the dark, voices weaving tales of spirits and survival. You're still the Amazon, your roots drinking the earth's pulse, your breath in the mist that clings to every leaf. Now let's peer into your future, a horizon of peril and promise, where your fate hangs on the choices of those who call you home and those who dream of you. This is your tomorrow, a fragile hope rooted in fight. Feel your heartbeat, a rhythm of 2.7 million square miles, sustaining jaguars, tamarins, dolphins, and 400 tribes. Your canopy traps carbon, your rivers feed oceans, your soils cradle cures. Your Earth's lungs, pumping 20% of its oxygen, a shield against a warming world. But you're at a tipping point. Scientists warn that 25% deforestation, just 5% more, could collapse your rains, turning forests to savanna. Your jaguars would starve, your eels suffocate, your Yanomami scatter. Climate change, mining, and greed tighten their grip, threatening to silence your pulse. Yet hope flickers in your creature's grit, your people's fire, and a world slowly waking to your cry. Let's start with climate, your fiercest foe. Picture 2050, your rain's 15% scarcer, droughts tripling since 2020. Your canopy, once a moisture vault, falters as trees fall, humidity dropping 10%. Tamarins cling to wilting figs, their troops shrinking. Jaguars pant, heat stressing their hunts, 3 degrees warmer since 1980. Rivers, like the Negro, shrink, stranding dolphins, their fish down 40%. You release 1.5 billion tons of CO2 yearly from fires, fueling the crisis that chokes you. Global emissions, from cars in Los Angeles to factories in Shanghai, dry your veins. You've survived ancient shifts, but this is faster, a human blaze you can't outlast alone. Deforestation is your bleeding wound. Picture your edges, where bulldozers roar, clearing 12,000 square miles yearly for soy and cattle. Since 1970, 20% of your body, 500,000 square miles, has vanished. Each acre a home for frogs, ants, Yanomami. Ranchers burn your mahogany, their fires killing 500 jaguars annually. Satellites show the scars, red patches spreading like a virus, driven by beef demand. 70% of your cleared land feeds global burgers. Your soils erode, rivers clog, and tamarins starve. If trends hold, 40% of you could be gone by 2100. A death sentence for your web. Mining and dams carve deeper scars. Picture your rivers muddied by gold dredges, 150 tons of mercury poisoning eels yearly. Illegal mines, 30,000 strong, invade Yanomami lands, their toxins killing 1,000 kin since 2010. Iron and lithium pits scar your north, their roads letting loggers in. Dams, like the Tukurui, block 20% of your waterways, crashing fish stocks, starving dolphins. Yanomami fishers return empty-handed, their children weak. These wounds aren't just local. They disrupt your rains, weaken your carbon sink, and threaten coasts worldwide. You're a global organ, and every cut ripples. Human sprawl fuels the assault. Picture towns swelling. Brazil's population, 220 million, demands land, pushing farms into your heart. Roads, 50,000 miles since 1990, fragment jaguar ranges, killing 1,000 yearly in collisions. Tourism, $1.5 billion annually, litters your trails. Plastic bags choke your tortoises. Yanomami face eviction, their 37,000 square mile territory eyed. For soy, last year, 500 Shabonos were raised, their fires snuffed. You're a World Heritage Site, but that label doesn't stop chainsaws or shield your tribes from soldiers guarding miners. Yet you're not forsaken. Picture a Yanomami patrol, women and men, bows drawn, driving miners from their streams. The Yanomami Federation with global NGOs has reclaimed 10,000 square miles, their lawsuits halting 20 dredges since 2020. Rangers, often indigenous, guard your parks. Xingu Indigenous Park, 11,000 square miles, shelters 200 tamarins. Last week, a ranger, Juon, seized a poacher's gun, saving a jaguar. Conservationists plant trees, 5 million since 2010, reviving frog pools. Scientists track dolphins, their data pushing river protections. Your fight's fierce, but it needs more. $2 billion yearly to halt your loss, a fraction of mining profits. Global. Hands reach for you. Picture a reforestation camp in Peru. Volunteers planting saplings, aiming for 2 billion trees by 2040. The Amazon Sustainable Landscapes Program, funded by Germany, has restored 50,000 acres, boosting tamarin numbers 15%. Eco-tourists, choosing lodges over resorts, fund 100 Yanomami schools with their $200 fees. On X, that Amazon Lives trends, 15 million posts raising $10 million for anti-logging in 2024. Brazil's 2023 deforestation cap, enforced by drones, saved 5,000 square miles. Governments, pushed by protests, pledge Norway's $1 billion since 2008, cut fires by 30%. These are sparks, but you need a blaze. Your creatures carry hope. Jaguars hunt at dawn, dodging traps, their cubs learning fast. Eels burrow in clean pools, their shocks undimmed. Tamarins breed in fragments, their gold fur bright. Frogs shift to shadier roots, their poison sharp. Ants rebuild, their fungus thriving. Dolphins explore new rivers, their calves playful. You've honed them for eons and they adapt. Tamarins birth 10% more twins, jaguars roam wider. A frog's egg hatches, an ant's nest grows, a dolphin leaps. They're your pulse, proof you're not done fighting. Your people are your fire. Picture a Yanomami woman, Maria, leading a patrol, her radio sparking global aid. Youth like Pedro film miners, their videos on X shaming governments. Elders teach plant lore, their cures saving 1,000 lives yearly. Tribes, Kayapo, Munduruku, block dams, their protests halting 10 projects since 2015. Yanomami women weave their $50 baskets funding ranges. They've faced genocide, disease, yet stand their 15,000-year bond with you unbroken. You're their mother, their fight, their song, and they'll die before they let you fall. As dawn nears, you glow with possibility. A tamarin leaps, its troop safe. A dolphin's click echoes, its river clear. A Yanomami child draws a jaguar, her dream is your future. You're a lifeline, your oxygen breathes life, your rivers feed farms, your cures heal, your future's not set, it's a choice. Cut carbon, fund rangers, ban beef from your lands. Every act $5 donated, a post shared, a vote cast, keeps your canopy green. You're not a distant forest. You're our home, our fight, our hope, calling us to rise, to save the heart that beats for all. The Amazon's pre-dawn is a quiet hymn, the jungle cloaked in a darkness that hums with life, the air thick with the promise of morning. The Rio Negro whispers, its waters catching the first glimmers of light, alive with a dolphin's playful breach. A poisoned dart frog hunkers under a leaf, its blue skin a hidden spark. Leaf-cutter ants trudge on, their trails weaving through the undergrowth like veins. A Yanomami Shabono sleeps, its fires smouldering, a mother's lullaby fading into the night. You're still the Amazon, your roots pulsing with ancient strength, your breath in the dew that clings to every vine. Now, let's reflect on what you teach us, not just about survival, but about humanity, connection, and the resilience that ties us to you and to each other. This is your lesson, a mirror for a world that needs your wisdom. Feel your truth etched in every leaf and claw. You're more than a rainforest. You're a sage, your canopy a classroom where life's rawest lessons unfold. You've watched jaguars stalk through floods, tamarins leap despite loss, Yanomami endure invasions. Every creature, from the eels. Electric pulse to the ant's ceaseless march, carries a teaching. Survival demands grit, unity, and adaptation. But your deepest wisdom isn't for them. It's for us, the humans who cut you, save you, and stand in awe of you. You show us how to live, to connect, to rise when the world feels heavy, offering lessons as vital in concrete cities as in your green heart. Let's start with resilience, your fiercest gospel. Picture a jaguar, its last hunt stolen, yet stalking, again at dawn, undeterred by hunger. Or a tamarin, its forest shrinking, still leaping for figs, its troop tighter than ever. You forge them in chaos, floods, predators, fires, and they persist. Humans face their own jungles, deadlines, grief, uncertainty. Your jaguars don't dwell on failure, they hunt. Your lesson is blunt. Keep moving, scars and all. Resilience isn't dodging hardship, it's clawing through it, one step, one breath, one sunrise at a time. A truth that echoes from São Paulo's slums to Tokyo's towers. Connection is your next teaching, woven in your web. A jaguar's kill feeds vultures, its scat grows plants for tamarins. An eel's shock stirs fish, feeding. Dolphins, a frog's poison. Brood from ants shields it, balancing insect swarms. Yanomami hunt, but spare young, ensuring rivers thrive. You're a tapestry, every thread vital. Lose one, and the whole phrase. Humans build walls, physical and not, forgetting their ties. Your rivers feed farms in Argentina, your oxygen fills lungs in Beijing. You whisper, we're linked, not by borders, but by the air we share, the earth we tread. A miner's poison in your veins sickens a child in Rio. Connections, not a choice. It's truth. Adaptation is your third lesson, carved in your roots. Picture your eels, once blind fish, now shocking predators in your murky depths. Or Yanomami, blending bows with radios, guarding you with ancient wisdom and modern tools. You've never stood still. Dinosaurs fell, but your frogs evolved. Seas drained, but your dolphins danced. Humans resist change, clutching old habits as the planet warms. You don't bargain with floods or fires, you reshape. Your lesson is stark: evolve or fade. Embrace green tech, rethink consumption, share your lands, or risk a world where your rivers dry. From boardrooms to chabonos, adaptation is survival's key. Humility is your quietest, sharpest teaching. Stand in your canopy and a human feels tiny, a speck under your 100-foot trees. Your jaguars don't boast, your ants don't strut. They act, driven by need, not pride. Humans, with their skyscrapers and screens, often forget this, calling you wild as if they've tamed life. Your floods humble engineers, your web outsmarts labs. Yanomami bow to Zapiri, not from fear, but awe at your vastness. You ask us to kneel to see ourselves as part, not masters, of a system older than our dreams. Humility isn't weakness, it's wisdom, grounding us in your truth. Your lessons live in stories. Picture a Yanomami boy, Kopanawa, learning to track peccaries while studying on a cracked tablet. He's resilient, rising at dawn to hunt and read. He's connection, teaching kin to save dolphins, linking his shabono to your fight. His adaptation, filming miners to shame invaders, blending chants with hashtags. His humility, praying under your stars, knowing his life rests on your balance. Kopanawa's your student, and through him you speak to us. Fight fiercely, love deeply, change. Boldly, stay small. His story's universal, a map for anyone navigating their own wild. Globally, your lessons resonate. In a London office, a worker, drained, sees your tamarins on X and rethinks hustle. Maybe grit, not speed, wins. In a Nairobi school, kids debate. Your fires, pushing for green laws, learning connections power. In a Boston lab, a scientist studies your ants, adapting their teamwork to tech, humbled by your systems. On X, Amazon Lessons sparks 2 million posts, urging less waste, more care, your resilience inspiring a weary world. You're not just a forest, you're a philosophy, a call to live better together, from shanties to penthouses. But your lessons carry a warning. Ignore them, and you collapse. Picture 2100, your canopy gone, rivers mud, jaguars a memory, humans chasing profit, break your web, mining your veins, burning your skin, damming your arteries. Yanomami scatter, their songs lost. Eels fade, frogs vanish, dolphins sink. Your earth's lungs and your death chokes us. Floods rise, crops fail, air thins. Your oxygen, your rains, your cures tie us to you, lose you, and we lose our spark. The ore that drives art, faith, hope. You're not a luxury, you're life, and we're running out of time, yet you offer a path. Picture 2040, your reigns steadier. Global carbon cuts working. Jaguars roam, their cubs safe in new forests. 10 million trees planted. Yanomami thrive, their lands secure, teaching plant cures worldwide. Tourists tread lightly, their $500 fees funding rangers. Frogs trill, ants march, dolphins leap in clean rivers. This future's no fantasy, it's a choice. Cut beef from your lands, donate $10 to reforestation, vote for climate laws. Every act, a shared post, a skipped flight, a signed petition, strengthens your roots. You're not a distant jungle, you're our mirror, urging us to act, to save. What saves us? As dawn breaks, you shine with purpose. A jaguar's cub pounces, learning your ways. A tamarin's whistle rings, its troop alive. A dolphin's calf spins, its river clear. A Yanomami girl weaves her hands with hope. You've taught us to stalk like jaguars, leap like tamarins, adapt like eels, work like ants, endure like Yanomami. Your lessons, resilience, connection, adaptation, humility, are a compass, guiding us through our own wilds. You're not a place we visit. You're a truth we carry, a fire we stoke, a home we fight for, now and always. The Amazon's dawn is a soft awakening, the sky blooming with hues of coral and gold, casting a fleeting glow across the tangled canopy. The Rio Negro ripples, its dark surface dancing with light, alive with the arc of a dolphin's leap. A poisoned dart frog stirs, its blue skin catching the first rays on a dew-soaked leaf. Leafcutter ants press on, their green burdens swaying in endless rhythm. A Yanomami Shabono hums, a mother stoking embers, her child's laughter blending with the jungle's chorus. You're still the Amazon, your roots drinking the earth's pulse, your breath in the mist that weaves through every branch. Now let's bring this journey home, to us, to you, to the personal weight of your story and the urgent call to keep you breathing. This is your impact, a reflection on why you matter and how we must rise to save you. Feel your pull, not as a distant forest, but as a force that reshapes our core. You're not a backdrop, a screensaver for fleeting awe. You're a heartbeat, stirring us with Jaguar's stealth, Tamarin's defiance, Yanomami's fire. You've carried us through your rivers, from an eel's electric shock to a frog's poisoned trill, from a dolphin's playful dance to an ant's relentless march. Each tail, every claw, every leap, every chant sinks into us, sparking wonder, duty, a hunger to be part of something vast. You're not out there. You're in us, in our choices, our dreams, our vow to hold your green heart close. Picture yourself wherever you are, sipping coffee in Seattle, scrolling in Lagos, walking a dog in Bogota. Your day's ordinary, emails, errands, maybe a quick post about rain or lunch. Then you glimpse the Amazon, a clip of a jaguar's eyes glowing, a Yanomami song, a tamarin's gold flash. Your world pauses. The screen fades, and you're there, tasting the humidity, hearing the river's hum, feeling a jungle that dwarfs your stress. You're not just watching. You're woven into a web stretching from your hands to a forest half a world away. That's your magic, Amazon. You make us feel alive, rooted to a planet we too often forget. Your stories strike deep. The jaguar, hunting despite loss, is you pushing through a job rejection, finding strength in defeat. The tamarin, leaping in. A shrinking forest is every time you fought for a dream against odds. The Yanomami, guarding their home with bows and radios, are your struggle to balance heritage and change. The frog, small but deadly, is the quiet work, cooking, coding, caring that powers life. The dolphin's joy, spinning in murky waters, is your laughter through hard days. You show us we're kin, all clawing, leaping, enduring in our own jungles, from high-rises to shabonos. Your impact isn't just a feeling, it's a lifeline, urgent and real. You're humanity's shield, even for those who'll never trade your trails. Your trees trap 150 billion tons of carbon, slowing floods that swamp Miami or Mumbai. Your rivers drive rains, feeding crops in Argentina, filling plates in Cairo. Your frogs and plants hold cures. 80% of cancer drugs stem from your kin. Lose you, and we lose more than beauty. We lose breath, food, hope. Economists peg your worth at $8 trillion yearly. Oxygen, water, medicine. But you're priceless, as vital as the phone you hold or the air you breathe. Your call is personal, a challenge to act. Picture yourself, not a bystander, but a warrior. You don't need a machete or a ranger's badge. Your power's in your life. Skip one beef meal. Cattle ranching burns 70% of your cleared land. Donate $10 to groups like Amazon Watch, funding Yanomami patrols. 20,000 gifts last year saved 1,000 jaguars. Visit mindfully, book eco-lodges, their $150 fees building schools, not resorts. Post your love, share a dolphin's leap with Fuel and Save Amazon, sparking 5 million in aid last year. Every choice, from a vegan taco to a retweet, is a root strengthening your canopy. You're not a solo fight. Picture a web, global and fierce. A Yanomami woman, Clara, films miners, her video halting a dredge. A scientist in Lima tracks tamarins, her data saving 500 acres. A kid in Seoul fundraises, her $1 saving a frog's pool. You, wherever you are, join them, vote for green laws. Brazil's 2023 deforestation ban saved 6,000 square miles. Boycott brands tied to your fires, check labels, skip soy from cleared lands, amplify Yanomami voices on X, their 10,000 followers shaking governments. Each act, $1, a vote, a post is a vine, binding us to your survival. Your fragility is ours. If your jaguars fall, your web unravels. Plants die, rivers clog, Yanomami starve. If your rivers dry, farms fail, cities thirst. You're a warning, break the web and we all crash, but your hope too. Picture 2050, your canopy thick carbon cuts reviving rains. Tamarins leap, their troops doubled by 10 million planted trees. Yanomami teach, their plant cures healing millions. Dolphins swim clean rivers, their calves thriving. Tourists, wiser, fund rangers, not resorts. This future's ours to build. With every skipped burger, every signed petition, every shared story, your legacy is personal because you're personal. You're the jaguar in our fight, the tamarin in our leaps, the Yanomami in our roots. You're the frog's quiet poison, the ant's endless work, the dolphin's joy. You've taught us to hunt, to adapt, to endure, to stay humble under a sky vaster than our plans. As dawn brightens, a tamarin calls, a dolphin spins, a Yanomami weaves. They're not just yours, they're ours, a shared pulse linking us to you, to each other, to a world worth saving. You're not a forest we visit. You're a home we guard, a song we sing, a fire we fuel, now and forever. The Amazon's morning unfurls like a sacred vow, dawn's golden light spilling through the canopy, igniting the jungle in a blaze of life. The Rio Negro dances, its waters shimmering with the leap of a pink dolphin, its ripples kissing the roots of ancient kapoks. A poison dart frog gleams, its blue skin a defiant spark on a fern. Leafcutter ants carve their endless trails, green fragments swaying like offerings. A Yanomami shabono stirs, a child's giggle weaving with the thrill of a tamarin high above. You're still the Amazon, your spirit eternal, your pulse a rhythm that echoes through time. This is your finale, a poetic ode to your soul, a celebration of your undying fire, and a call to guard you forever. Feel your essence boundless and fierce, a heartbeat that shakes the earth. You are the jaguar's silent step, eyes burning through the dusk, a shadow woven from your shadows. You are the tamarin's golden leap, defying gravity, a spark of joy in your tangled vines. You are the eel's electric pulse, a river-born storm, crackling life into your depths. You are the frog's vivid poison, small but untouchable, a jewel forged in your crucible. You are the ant's ceaseless march, carving empires in your soil, a hymn to duty. You are the dolphin's playful spin, a river's laughter, singing of freedom. You are the Yanomami's chant, rising with your mists, a vow to your spirits. You're not a forest, you're a force, a pulse, a dream that holds the world. See your splendor, painted in breaths, dawn's glow on a jaguar's spots, a mosaic of stealth and strength, a tamarin's mane, catching light like a flame, dancing in your green cathedral. An eel's arc, sparking the Rio Negro, a lightning bolt in your veins. A frog's blue bold against your roots, a warning that echoes your wildness. An ant's trail, weaving through your undergrowth, a thread in your endless tapestry. A dolphin's blush glowing in your rivers, a smile against the dark. A Yanomami fire, sparking stories that climb your stars. You're a canvas, each stroke fierce, each scar a verse in a song that never fades. Hear your voice, a symphony of survival. The jaguar's roar, shaking your leaves, claiming its crown. The tamarin's whistle, sharp and bright, a call to kin. The eel's hum, electric and alive, stirring your waters. The frog's trill, a defiant note in your chorus. The ant's rustle, soft but steady, building your future. The dolphin's click, a sonar poem mapping your depths. The Yanomami's song, weaving Zapiri's spirits. binding earth to sky. You're a melody, sung in fangs and wings, in arrows and dreams, a sound that lingers in every soul it touches. No, your wounds yet rise unyielding, your rivers choke, poisoned by gold's greed, mercury silencing your fish. Your canopy burns, 12,000 square miles yearly, jaguars fleeing flames. Your rains falter, 15% scarcer, starving your tamarins. Your tribes fight, their shabonos raised for soy. Yet you stand as you have for 100 million years, through seas and fires, dinosaurs and droughts. Your scars are strength, your losses a call to fight. You're a titan, wounded but fierce, your roots deeper than any axe, your heart beating through every loss. Embrace your hope, carried by your guardians. The Yanomami warrior, her bow steady, driving miners from your streams. The scientist, her drone mapping your canopy, saving your frogs. The tourist, his wallet open, is funding schools where Yanomami learn. The child, her crayon tracing your dolphins, her coins planting your trees. The activist, her voice on X, Amazon lives sparking millions to act. You're not alone. Your fight is ours, a shared fire burning in hands that plant. Voices that shout, hearts that refuse to let you fade. Claim your legacy, eternal and wild. You've taught us to stalk like jaguars, fierce through failure. To leap like tamarins, bold in shrinking spaces. To spark like eels, alive in darkness. To shine like frogs, small but deadly. To work like ants, relentless in purpose. To dance like dolphins, joyful in struggle. To stand like Yanomami, rooted yet reaching. You're our mirror, showing grit, unity, change, awe. You're our breath, fueling lungs from Quito to Kyoto. You're our song, lifting us when hope wavers. You're our home, calling us to fight for what endures. Make your vow a promise to you, Amazon. We'll hunt with your jaguars, pushing past defeat. We'll leap with your tamarins, daring to dream. We'll spark with your eels, lighting dark days. We'll shine with your frogs, bold in our smallness. We'll march with your ants, building for tomorrow. We'll dance with your dolphins, finding joy in fight. We'll stand with your Yanomami, guarding roots while soaring high. We'll cut beef, fund rangers, share your cry. We'll vote, act, love, keep your rivers alive, your jaguars free, your story green. Picture your tomorrow, vibrant and fierce. Jaguars prowl, their cubs safe, your canopy thick with 20 million new trees. Tamarins leap, their troops thriving, your fruits abundant. Eels pulse, your rivers clean, dolphins spinning in joy. Frogs trill, their pools full, ants weaving nests that feed your soil. Yanomami sing, their shabonos strong, teaching a world that heals. This is no dream. It's a future we forge with every dollar donated, every fire stopped, every heart. Turn to you. You're not a moment, you're forever, a fire in our bones, a song in our souls. As your sun climbs, you blaze, unending. A jaguar's cub pounces, learning your hunt. A tamarin calls its gold a beacon. An eel sparks, its river alive. A frog hops, its poison bright. An ant carries its work, your strength. A dolphin leaps, its calf, your hope. A Yanomami weaves her hands into your future. You're not a place, you're a spirit, a vow, a fight that binds us. Amazon, we see you, we hear you, we're yours. Your dawn is ours and we'll keep it burning always. Thank you for watching. If you like the story, feel free to comment, like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.